we wanted to provide an update for her and for all of you that are wanting to know about the TIF procedure. Like you had that one episode just last week.
So a lot of those symptoms went away. I will be honest, now that I have kind of a panicking feeling, a racing heart, kind of shakiness, because I don't want to have it again.
As far as from a husband's standpoint, as a spouse's standpoint, it's always hard to see your loved one, your spouse, your partner go through pain.
I tried so hard to play it cool. I took your hand and took a knee, and I said, would you come and make your home with me? Would you come and make your home with me? And I'm feeling like every single part of me is beating, much as my bones were minds. Now I'm dreaming with every breath I breathe, that you come and make your home with me. Yeah. Come and make your home with me. Ooh. Now you made your home with me.
You want to start it?
Hi guys, welcome to the Glen home.
Hello.
Hi babe, welcome home.
Thanks. I've been here a while.
Yeah, you have. 12 years this year.
Well, not in this house.
No, we've only been here 4 years.
It'll be 5.
In December?
Yeah.
Wow. 5 years in December. Time goes by too fast.
It does. When was COVID?
COVID was 2020?
Yeah, I think so. So that's when I had the TIF procedure. And if you want to know about that, I'm sure he will link or
Yeah, we'll
add
put it up in the corner here.
Yeah. The videos. And you're welcome to ask any questions. But we did a nearly hour-long video of an update.
It had been a year later.
Was it that long?
Yeah.
Okay. So we did an update video, and we had a comment about 3 weeks ago, a question: how do you feel almost 3 years out? Well, if you go back and you look through the progressions of the video, I was super proud of losing weight, super happy to lose weight. And even several people said, are you going to keep the weight off? And so I hear that a lot in my head now, because if you know us, or if you've looked at the progressions of the video, you will see that in fact I did not keep the weight off. And so I hear those voices in my head quite frequently.
Can I insert something?
Yes.
I think you are beautiful just the way you are.
Thank you. That's been a mental struggle for me with that. But I also try to remind myself that when I was on a liquid or soft diet for almost 8 weeks, I couldn't eat more than a half cup of food. And when I first went back to work, like really went back full-time teaching, it was, what, a month after surgery?
Yeah.
4 or 5 weeks. And
yeah, because you had it done in the summer.
Yeah, I had it done at the end of July, and then because of COVID, we didn't start school until the end of August. But when I first went back to work, like, I really struggled because that half cup that I could eat at a time was not enough for the amount of work and activity that I do as a teacher, even though I was teaching virtual that year.
It's not sustainable.
No. And so that's the thing. I mean, you know, that bothers me. But then weight struggles is a whole different video. But I just want to say, like, because if you look at that video that this person was commenting on, you're going to see that I am obviously much thinner in that video than I am now. And so that's the thing. I mean, it took me a little while, you know, to get back up to that. But I remember going in at 5-6 months and telling the doctor, I think I'm still having problems. And he said, well, you need to eat stuff. You need to go back to your normal diet. You need to eat regular foods, and you need to stretch that valve. And so I did. I took his advice. But sometimes when you have struggles with food and sugar addictions and, you know, all the things, you know, that's a struggle. That's not a result of the TIF, so I don't guess that really has anything to do with it. But I mean, that's really the only thing related to that, is that I put the weight back on. I would 100% do it again, the TIF procedure and the hiatal hernia repair. I do have some GERD symptoms and issues right now, but because I've had so much pain over the last couple years with my back and plantar fasciitis in my foot and things like that, having to take the NSAIDs and the steroids and things like that are really hard on your stomach. So I do have some struggles with the acid reflux, but nothing like before. But yeah, I mean, it was magnificent. It's been fantastic. Definitely would do it again. I have an appointment with my doctor next month, at the end of next month, just because I had called and asked them for something a little stronger than over the counter for the acid reflux, with taking the stronger, you know, like I said, NSAIDs and things like that. He wanted me to come in and see me, and of course come in and see him. I'm sure that my weight will come up. And like I said, that's a whole different video, because he was also one of the people that, like, are you going to keep it off? But yeah, I mean, I can eat pretty much what I want to. I did get pretty choked up the other day when we went to eat at the Cheesecake Factory. That used to be an everyday, all the time thing. I don't have those choking issues nearly as often. I don't have, like, before I had this surgery, it was like a constant feeling like there was something stuck in my throat. My throat hurt all the time. I've had too much, and there are some foods that I still can't really eat. Every now and then I'll eat like fresh tomatoes. I love fresh tomatoes, but that's just not something that I really do. Pineapple is like my favorite fruit, but I don't really eat it for the most part, unless it's in something or if we cook with it. Just because the acidity is so strong that I just really can't do it. So there are a few orange juice, same thing, unless it's in something I don't really have either one of those. But for the most part, I can eat what I want as far as that goes, obviously. But yes, so I would say that I feel pretty good, especially based on the weight that I gained back, which is hard on all of those things. So when you're going through things, you know, the symptoms and the things that happen are so vivid. Like after the surgery, you know, I just remember being so hungry because I was on a liquid, just complete liquid diet the first 2 weeks. You know, it was just so hard with that, you know, and I try to think back and I remember being so itchy from where all of my incisions were. I was really glad for our adjustable bed base to get out of bed the first few days, because I could raise it all the way up and scoot over. But I mean, it's really hard. I remember not being able to eat much, and there were some things on the list that didn't sit well with me. And my biggest challenges with that, really, one was I had to figure out, just because, you know, I had like 2 different things telling me when to eat what that I was looking at. But you really have to listen to your body, because some of the things that they said I was ready for, it took me an extra week, and so you really have to pay attention to that. And another struggle is I'm allergic to artificial sweeteners. It was like sugar-free juice or sugar-free Jell-O and things like that, and which I couldn't do. The ones that I did, I don't think I did any juice. I like Gatorade Zero. That's what it was. It was all the zero stuff. And I can't do that because it gives me migraine. So I just left that out. I could do unsweet tea. I did a lot of water. I was so tired of drinking water, and I'm not a water drinker anyway. So that's something I'm constantly trying to do more of. Unsweet tea, water. I did a lot of the breakfast. What are those things called? Carnation breakfast essentials or whatever. They're the little
shakes.
Yeah, and they have some that are protein. So to try to help with that, I did those. But I really try to think about all the things, like, not, it was hard getting my energy back up, and the pain was there. And then I remember, it wasn't even really solid food. I think it was like macaroni and something like that, which is considered soft food versus solid. But I remember getting it stuck in my throat, and like, it was a whole ordeal, because you don't want to pull where that valve is. You don't want to, you're really conscious of that, of breaking that loose and pulling that loose and those kinds of things. You're like, I'm choking, I got to get it out. And so that was one of the things I talked to the doctor about. And he said, I might have said this in the last video, I don't remember.
Okay.
That if, when you feel like that, you feel like you have something caught in your throat, it's really not your throat, it's really at where your esophagus and that sphincter valve. So I think that's probably helped me for the most part with that. But yeah, I don't think I have a lot of those things. And
so is your day-to-day symptoms with the GERD is give a percentage of gone? You don't have those issues.
Like 75%. I mean, like I said, unless there's something that's helping it flare up. I'm glad you said that, because that reminded me what I was going to say. I didn't realize how many symptoms were related to the acid reflux and things like that, like kind of a panicking feeling, a racing heart, kind of shakiness, a cough. Sometimes you can get those dry coughs in your throat. You might say, well, it's allergies or whatever, but a lot of time, and it might be dry throat and all those things, but then a lot of times that's related to the GERD. So a lot of those symptoms went away. I will be honest, now that I have put the weight back on to the extent that I have, I do, kind of have more of the kind of shakiness and panicky feeling. And so I do feel like that's probably from weight, maybe the increase in the symptoms. But so that's something, again, different video, but that's something that we want to work on. Because I don't want to have it again, because it was a good 6 months, to a year. And it was hard, not being able to eat anything. And, that was really hard, not having energy and things like that. So I don't want to have to redo it, but I 100% would have it again, and I still feel tons better after having it.
So any cons, any negatives
to having it?
Well, not to just having it, but since you've had it, like you had that one episode just last week or this week at the Cheesecake Factory with the coughing.
But I used to get choked on food all the time.
Not to be gross, but you can't vomit.
Oh, that was something I didn't think about. So yes, I had, this last year was the sickest that I've been in a long time. It was our second year of having two schools into one school.
We'll explain that in the next video.
Yeah, a lot of traffic and things going around and stuff like that. I had the stomach virus. So he had told me I probably would be able to vomit, but I've had a few migraines that, were bad enough for me to be sick, and I didn't get sick. But the stomach virus was really hard, because you would think, well, you can't throw up, so you wouldn't have that. But yeah, it was really bad, because I couldn't throw up. It was just the dry heaves. Mm-hmm. I
feel bad for you on that.
Yeah, so we're still doing, but nothing was coming up. But until that virus or that whatever, leaves your system, you have that. And I have had a couple of instances more recently of reflux, as far as, we call them burps. I don't know what they're really called, but where some of the contents of your stomach do come back up. Like I said, there are a lot of factors leading to us wanting to make changes and lose weight.
So to answer the person who asked us in the comments of the last video.
Yes.
We wanted to provide an update for her and for all of you that are wanting to know about the TIF procedure. As far as from a husband's standpoint, as a spouse's standpoint, it's always hard to see your loved one, your spouse, your partner go through pain when it's GERD. Things are not comfortable. You just don't feel good. You don't want to eat. Those types of things, and so you want to encourage them, but at the same time, show them you care. You want to make sure that they're healthy. And when she looked up having this TIF procedure, and we went through those videos, you'll see where we went to all the doctor's appointments and the procedure, it worried me, but I also knew that this is something common, that it was going to be good for her, and it was more hopeful for her to be healthy. And that's what got me through it. And knowing that she's had this success with it has really been good for us. Not talking on a selfish level, but good for us, because we can together enjoy life together. We will continue to talk about other things that we're going to be coming up in other videos, but GERD, the TIF procedure, that's what we wanted to answer in this video. In videos coming up, we're going to talk about migraines and from both of us some other issues that we can discuss. So this was for the person that asked, and for us to follow up with a response to how has it been for the last 3 years.
He acts like he was on board from the beginning, but he was not, because when the doctor walked in and he walked out, he was like, well, all he wanted to do was talk about surgery. And I had seen the brochure before the doctor came in, and I was so excited. Yeah. So that was hard for him, like, well, but it's surgery. Yeah, but I'm miserable. So, and this gives me hope. So it was a little harder for you to come around.
Yeah.
But COVID gave you lots of time, because we went from supposed to have the procedure in April to not at the beginning of April to the end of July. So
yeah, we got. I remember too the videos that we did. We talked about how it's been postponed and been postponed. Mm-hmm. So if you want to follow those pre-surgery videos, they're in the playlist above, and that's not just to show off the video, but it is to encourage anyone that wants to go through this procedure, husband, wife, partner, family, whatever it may be. We want to encourage, do the research, but also make sure that you are both wanting to and supporting each other going through this, because it is something that you're watching your spouse drink half a cup of this liquid and a half a cup of this liquid while you're eating a bowl of cereal or something, and you're like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing that in front of them, right?
Well, yes, I know you struggle with that. And also because, I literally couldn't do anything. I couldn't pick up more than 5 pounds. So you were having to work, you were having to do laundry. It was during the summer. You were still having to clean the pool and mow the grass. And like, I couldn't pick up the jug of milk to make my shakes or whatever it was. So he was having to take the milk and pour it into smaller containers that I could pick up. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. It was a lot of work and a lot of commitment on his part too, in addition to what he was doing. It was a lot because you were a supervisor in the school system, and so you were having to attend all the COVID meetings, plus take care of the normal things you had. So you were doubled up on duties at work and duties at home. So yeah, you definitely need supportive family members to help you out.
Guys, if you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments below. We are watching those comments. That's how we replying to this video, to this comment the person left. So please do, and we will look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Have a great day, guys.